My friends, I want you to stop whatever you're doing right now, because what I'm about to share with you today could directly affect the money that shows up in your bank account this April. And I mean this month. We are talking about real dollars, real dates, and real changes that the Social Security Administration has already put into motion. Now, I know a lot of you have been feeling the pinch lately. Groceries cost more. Prescription copays are going up. And some of you have told me in the comments that you're lying awake at night wondering if your check is going to be enough. I hear you. I see you. And that's exactly why I'm here today. Not to talk at you, but to sit down with you and walk through everything that's happening with Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits this April 2026, step by step, in plain English. No government jargon. No confusing fine print. Just the truth, laid out clearly, the way a good neighbor would do it. So get yourself a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's talk about your money, because you earned every single penny of it. Let's start with what so many of you have been asking about, the April 2026 payment schedule. Because I get messages every single month from folks who are confused about when their check is coming, and honestly, that confusion is completely understandable. The Social Security Administration doesn't send everyone's payment on the same day, and knowing your specific payment date can save you a lot of unnecessary stress. Here's how it works. If you've been receiving Social Security retirement benefits since before May 1997, and some of you have been on these benefits for decades, you receive your payment on the 3rd of every month. So for April 2026, that payment already hit or will hit on April 3rd. Now, if you also receive SSI, Supplemental Security Income, you typically get that payment on the 1st of the month. However, when the 1st falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, that payment gets moved up to the last business day of the prior month. So always check your calendar. This catches people off guard more often than you'd think. For everyone else on retirement, survivors, or disability benefits, meaning SSDI, your payment date is tied to your date of birth. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your April check arrives on April 8th, which is the 2nd Wednesday of the month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on April 15th, the 3rd Wednesday. And if your birthday is anywhere from the 21st to the 31st, your April payment lands on April 22nd, the 4th Wednesday of the month. Write these dates down. Put them on your refrigerator if you have to. Knowing when to expect your money is the first step to managing it wisely. Now let's talk about the 2026 COLA, the cost of living adjustment, because this is the engine that drives your benefit amount year after year, and it's worth understanding deeply. The Social Security Administration announced a 2.5% COLA for 2026, and while that number might sound small, let me show you what it actually means in real dollars for real people. Let's take my friend Margaret. She's 72 years old, lives in Ohio, and her Social Security retirement benefit before the COLA adjustment was $1,850 a month. With the 2.5% increase, she's now receiving approximately $1,896 a month. That's an extra $46 every single month, or about $552 over the course of a full year. Now, is that a fortune? No, but it's a tank of gas. It's a grocery run. It's a copay covered. For someone on a fixed income, that money matters. For SSDI recipients, the story is similar. The average SSDI monthly benefit heading into 2026 was around $1,580. After the 2.5% COLA, that jumps to approximately $1,620. And for SSI recipients, many of whom are among the most financially vulnerable Americans, the maximum federal SSI benefit for an individual is now $967 a month in 2026, up from $943. For couples receiving SSI, the maximum is $1,450 a month. These increases were already applied beginning with January 2026 benefits, so if you haven't noticed the uptick yet, check your award letter or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. Now here's something I really want you to pay close attention to, because this is where a lot of people feel blindsided: Medicare Part B premiums. You see, your Social Security check doesn't come to you completely untouched. For most beneficiaries, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted directly from your monthly payment before it ever hits your bank account. In 2026, the standard Medicare Part B premium is $185 per month. If you were paying $174.70 last year, that's an increase of about $10.30 a month that is quietly coming out of your check before you even see it. So let's go back to Margaret. She got a $46 raise from the COLA, but then $10.30 of that got absorbed by the higher Part B premium. Her real take-home increase is closer to $35 or $36 a month. That's still money, don't get me wrong, but I want you to have accurate expectations. The government calls this hold harmless protection for most beneficiaries, which means your net Social Security payment can't go down because of a Part B premium increase. But higher earners, those with income above $106,000 for individuals or $212,000 for couples, may be subject to what's called IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount, which means they pay even higher Part B premiums. If that applies to you, you would have received a letter from Social Security or Medicare explaining your specific premium amount. Let me now talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, and that's the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset, or what we in the Social Security world call WP and GPO. Now, I know those sound like alphabet soup, but bear with me, because if you're a retired teacher, firefighter, police officer, or any other public servant who worked in a job that didn't pay into Social Security, this could be putting a significant dent in your benefit or even eliminating part of a spousal or survivor benefit you thought you were entitled to. There has been significant advocacy in Washington to reform or repeal WP and GPO, and in late 2024, Congress actually passed the Social Security Fairness Act, which eliminated both of these provisions. For millions of public sector retirees, this was a landmark moment. If you were previously having your Social Security benefit reduced because of a government pension, you should now be receiving a higher payment. Some beneficiaries have seen increases of several $100s a month. If you haven't seen a change and you believe you were affected by WP or GPO, I urge you, please call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213 or visit your local SSA field office. Some retroactive payments are still being processed, and you may be owed back pay. Now let's shift over to our veterans, because our VA benefit recipients deserve their own moment in this conversation. The Department of Veterans Affairs adjusts disability compensation and pension rates annually, and for 2026, VA benefits also received that 2.5% COLA adjustment, the same as Social Security. That means if you're a veteran receiving, say, $1,400 a month in VA disability compensation at the 70% rating, you're now looking at approximately $1,435 a month. Those dollars add up, and combined with Social Security retirement, or SSDI, many veterans are now in a noticeably better position heading into the spring. One thing I really want veterans to know is that VA disability compensation is completely tax-free at the federal level. You do not pay income tax on your VA disability payments. That's money that belongs entirely to you, and it does not count as income for the purpose of determining your eligibility for certain low-income programs. If you're a veteran and you're not sure whether you've applied for all the benefits you're entitled to, survivor benefits, aid and attendance, special monthly compensation, please reach out to a veteran service organization like the DAV, the American Legion, or the VFW. They can help you navigate claims for free, and you might be leaving money on the table right now without even knowing it. Let's talk about taxes for a moment, because this is an area where I see a lot of confusion, and it costs people real money. Here's the truth, depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits may be taxable at the federal level. Now, I know that sounds alarming, but let me explain how this actually works. The IRS uses what's called your combined income, which is your adjusted gross income, plus any non-taxable interest, plus half of your Social Security benefits. If that combined income is below $25,000 for a single filer or $32,000 for a married couple filing jointly, your Social Security is completely tax-free. If it's between $25,000 and $34,000 for individuals, up to 50% of your benefit may be taxable. Above $34,000 for individuals, and up to 85% becomes taxable. For a lot of retirees who have a pension, some investment income, or a part-time job on top of their Social Security, they're sometimes shocked at tax time to discover they owe money to the IRS. One of the smartest things you can do, and I cannot stress this enough, is to have federal taxes voluntarily withheld from your Social Security check. You can do this by filing IRS Form W-4V. You can request 7%, 10%, 12%, or 22% withheld. It's not something most people know they can do, but it prevents a painful surprise in April. And if you're not sure where you stand, please talk to a tax professional or a free VITA tax assistance volunteer. The IRS offers free tax help for seniors, and you can find a site near you at irs.gov. Now I want to make sure we cover something that is quietly affecting more and more beneficiaries every year: Social Security overpayments. The SSA has been sending out overpayment notices to tens of thousands of people, informing them that they were paid more than they were entitled to in prior years, and that the agency intends to recover those funds. In some cases, SSA was withholding 100% of monthly benefits until the overpayment was repaid, leaving people with nothing for months at a time. That policy caused an enormous outcry, and the agency has since changed its default withholding rate to 50% for new overpayment cases. But even 50% of your check disappearing is devastating. If you receive an overpayment notice, please do not ignore it. You have rights. You can request a waiver if repaying the overpayment would cause you financial hardship and the overpayment was not your fault. You can also request a lower withholding rate while your appeal is being processed. The SSA is required to work with you, and many waiver requests are approved. Just make sure you respond within the 90-day window stated on your notice. You can find the forms you need at ssa.gov or call the SSA directly. Before I wrap up today, I want to leave you with a few strategies that can help you make the most of your Social Security income in 2026. First, if you haven't already, create your My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. It's free, it's secure, and it gives you instant access to your earnings record, your benefit estimate, your payment history, and your Medicare information. You can also update your direct deposit information there, change your address, and request benefit verification letters, all without waiting on hold. Second, if you're still working part-time and you're between 62 and your full retirement age, be mindful of the earnings limit. In 2026, you can earn up to $22,320 a year before Social Security temporarily withholds some of your benefits. Once you reach full retirement age, which for most people reading this is 66 or 67, that earnings limit goes away entirely. You can earn as much as you want without any reduction in benefits. And third, this one's for those of you who are still deciding whether to claim or who claimed early and sometimes wonder, what if? Remember that every year you delay claiming Social Security past your full retirement age, up until age 70. Your benefit grows by 8%. If you're in good health and have other income to live on, waiting can mean hundreds of extra dollars every single month for the rest of your life. It's a decision worth thinking through carefully. My friends, April 2026 brings with it real changes, real payments, and real opportunities for you to make sure you're getting everything you've worked so hard for. From the COLA increase that's already in your check, to the new Medicare Part B premium adjustment, to the landmark repeal of WP and GPO for our public servants and survivors, to tax strategies and overpayment protections, all of it matters. All of it affects your life. You are not a number in a government database. You are a person who spent decades contributing to this country, and you deserve to understand exactly what you're entitled to. If today's video helped you, and I truly hope it did, please share it with someone you love. Share it with your neighbor, your sibling, your friend from church who you know is struggling to understand all of this. Because we're all in this together, and the more informed our community is, the better off every single one of us will be. I'll be back soon with more updates as they come out of Washington. Until then, take good care of yourself. You've earned it.